Yeah, I was saying it from the jump. This is Game 7, and I think we treated it as such. We didn't want to go back to Philly. We didn't want to keep building their momentum, and it was good to get a closeout game.
The Celtics advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals, beating the Sixers in Game 5, 114-112. Welcome into Celtics Now. I'm your host, Rachel Holt. For the second consecutive year, Boston will face LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers in the next round of the NBA playoffs. Let's take a look back at how it all went down. In front of the home crowd on Wednesday night, rookie Jason Tatum and second-year guard Jaylen Brown combining for 49 points in the win. Terry Rozier adding 17 points and Al Horford contributing 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 steals.
I'm just happy we won tonight. It was a taxing game for us. We left it all out there, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. I can't think about anything else right now. I'm very proud of our group.
Playoff Al sounding like he's excited to get some rest, and rightfully so. The forward averaging 17 points per game this postseason. This year, he's doing it with some new faces supporting him. Check out this stat. The Celtics are the first team in NBA history to reach the conference finals in back-to-back seasons while returning only 4 players from one year to the next. Wow. So as the C's move on, for Philly, the process is delayed, which means the confetti incident in Game 3 is even more embarrassing. As you recall, someone in Wells Fargo Center screwed up and confetti fell inside the arena at the end of regulation when they thought Marco Bellinelli's jumper won them the game. Well, whoops, the game went to OT and the Celtics actually won that one. Oh no. It also begs the question, why was there even confetti ready and waiting in Game 3? As our Twitter poll shows, Boston only likes confetti in championships. Come on, Philly, get it together. Donnie Wahlberg weighing in, never premature confetti, just saying. But hey, when you look at it this way, the Sixers perhaps dropping confetti to celebrate the Celtics win, that is indeed very classy of them. The Celtics, the betting underdogs in both of their series thus far, and it will be that way again against the Cavs. Cleveland is the favorite against Brad Stevens' squad, but hey, at least Boston has support from a whole lot of people all over. Hanley Ramirez saying, "I love you, King James, but green all the way, bro." Rob Gronkowski tweeting during the series, "That was a great basketball game to watch. Nice win, Celtics." Of course, how can we forget about this guy? Gordon Hayward adding, "Impressed and inspired by the never say die attitude of this squad." Yeah, just a friendly reminder to the other teams that this C's team that made the conference finals without Hayward will have him next year. Perhaps buying in the most, Drew Bledsoe. And not only buying in, but potentially making a profit. The former Patriots quarterback stealing the show in Game 5, sitting courtside in a Terry Rozier jersey. The two finally meeting for the first time before the game after days of public support, and now Bledsoe, who owns a winery, may keep the connection alive in a very interesting way.
So the Terry Rosé may be the thing. So watch out. I'm gonna have to talk to him. We'll bring him out to Washington. We're gonna develop a profile, and we'll come up with a Terry Rosé. It's gonna have a great finish.
Terry Rosé, we're here for this. Please put us down for 5 bottles. Overall, Bledsoe sharing how grateful he was to be a part of such a fun few days.
This whole thing with Terry's been super fun. So proud of the Celtics and this whole thing that's going on. It's been fun going back and forth with Terry, but it's mostly been fun because the Celtics are playing great basketball, and I've been a fan for a long time.
Very humble, that Bledsoe guy. He's not the only one. Brad Stevens, a guy who got the injury-riddled C's to the Eastern Conference Finals, did not receive a single vote from his peers for Coach of the Year. It does not make sense. However, ever classy, Stevens did not express any disappointment.
There's no way that I would have voted for me over any of the other 29 people, and the guy that should have won got it, and those other guys that get votes, like, they're unbelievable. I'm stealing from those guys all the time. Like, it's so incredible to have an opportunity to be one of 30. And I think it's a lot more important to just focus on competing with your team rather than trying to compare yourself to others. Because I'm telling you, if it gets to be a comparison contest, I'm screwed.
Well, Stevens still has plenty of opportunities to prove himself to his peers. Up next, the team faces the Cleveland Cavaliers. Here's what he had to say ahead of the rematch with LeBron and his squad.
3 days is plenty of time to prepare. You know, it's not like they've never watched Cleveland before. We played them in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. LeBron's on just a ridiculous run of play, and you know, we know that it'll be quite a challenge. But the most important thing that our team can do tomorrow is go outside and get away from it for a day and take a day off and take a deep breath. We're asking a lot of the 7 guys that played a ton tonight. They're going to keep playing a ton.
So these two teams met 3 times during the regular season. The Cavs won 2 of those meetings. Of course, with injuries, things are looking a little different right now. We're going to bring in our Celtics expert, Darren Hartwell, who has his do's and don'ts of the series. Darren?
All right, let's cut to the chase. The Celtics have a tall task ahead of them. But I actually think the Celtics can dethrone the Cavs in this series if they follow this week's do's and don'ts. So here's hoping the Celtics are playing this segment at their practice tomorrow. First up, what the Celtics need to do is exploit Cleveland's lack of depth. Obviously, it all starts with LeBron, but remember that new supporting cast he got at the trade deadline? Well, Larry Nance Jr., Jordan Clarkson, and Rodney Hood have been virtually non-existent in the playoffs, all averaging under 5 points per game, and George Hill has been serviceable at best, 9.8 points per game. The Celtics, on the other hand, have 4 players averaging 16.9 points or more in the playoffs. That'd be Tatum, Brown, Horford, and Rozier. And they also have 2 double-digit scorers coming off the bench in Marcus Morris and Marcus Smart. So the Celtics are the deeper team here, and I think Brad Stevens will be able to get the matchups he wants on offense, especially when James is off the court. Specifically, I'd watch for Jason Tatum on Kyle Korver. What the Celtics should not do is lose track of LeBron's biggest sidekick, and that's Kevin Love. It's no coincidence that Love's 2 biggest games in this postseason so far, he had 31 points in Game 2 against the Raptors and 23 points in Game 4. Both came in the Cavs' 2 biggest blowouts of the postseason to date. Basically, when Love is on, the Cavs are virtually unstoppable. That's because when he's on his game, he can create his own shot and hit the open 3 from the corner, which spaces out the floor and prevents opposing defenses from collapsing on LeBron. All right, time for my series prediction. I know the Celtics are unbeaten at home in the playoffs so far, and they've proven the doubters wrong all postseason. But I also know that LeBron James is the best basketball player on the planet right now. So I think LeBron comes in to Boston and steals Game 1 or Game 2 with a great individual performance, and then the Cavs take care of business at home and finally end this magical run. So yes, I am going Cavs in 6.
Boo, Darren. Whatever, man. Don't listen to him. So Game 1 will take place on Sunday in Boston. Tip-off is at 3:30 p.m. Game 2 happening on Tuesday, starting at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Worth mentioning, the C's are a perfect 7-0 at home this postseason. They're only 1-4 on the road, so it will be interesting to see how the team responds in Game 3 and 4 in Cleveland, taking place Saturday and Monday, respectively. That will do it for this show. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Nesson. We have you covered with all your Celtics news this postseason, so keep it locked in and go C's.